Could you please define what multicultural beauty is?
The thing is, before defining what multicultural beauty is, I think it's more important to ask, why are we talking about multicultural beauty now? Because beauty is a universal practice and has been the case for a long time. So basically what we are doing is segmenting the beauty market by ethnicities or by ethnic markets. So 50% of the global beauty market in retail value terms are the Caucasian markets, and the remaining 50% are the other ethnicities. So basically what we are looking at is the fact that the other 50% of the market, which are non-Caucasians, are set to play a very important role in driving growth in the beauty industry. And targeting their needs is what essentially is multicultural beauty.
And what is currently driving this particular market?
Well, there are a number of reasons, and the thing is, before we answer that, we need to look at the market in terms of its current segmentation. So first of all, you have the regional markets, and then you have the ethnic communities in the Caucasian markets. So in the Caucasian markets, or in the Western markets, there is going to be a shift in the demographic mix with more ethnic communities based in the Western markets. There are a number of reasons. One is, migration from other regions. But at the same time, ethnic communities in the Western markets are also experiencing higher income power. So their affordability is higher and they're better integrated into the society. And the other one is regional markets are also projected to grow in terms of their value sales. So in 2020, out of the 10 leading beauty markets, 6 will be non-Caucasian markets. So again, they will have a very strong impact when it comes to dollar value sales. So these are, and in the regional markets, they're growing because of improved economy, but also urbanization, growing affordability, both of which combined are triggering a lifestyle change and also an interest in grooming.
And how are the multinational brands reacting to this new phenomenon?
Well, that's a very interesting question because it's slightly tricky. On one hand, we see that multicultural beauty presents opportunities, but at the same time, it's not very straightforward because it can get a bit costly. First of all, how deep do you go in terms of your targeted benefits? Because if you go very deep, then the market size is becoming smaller and your unit cost is higher. So at the same time, it's more complex to manufacture products for non-Caucasian consumers. First of all, in terms of technology, but it's also riskier because it's not really very familiar for the global brands up until this point. So it's about balancing the both. So what we have seen is that global brands tend to take a more broad-based approach where they sell their existing brands but with different positioning and marketing messages based on what would resonate with their target audience. But more recently, they are stepping a little bit further and altering their formulation to incorporate ingredients which are preferred by the local consumers and also the ethnic communities that they are targeting.
Can you provide some example of global brands with their ethnic offers?
I'll give you 2 examples. One is Estee Lauder Nutritious Rosy Prism, which is a range of Estee Lauder moisturizers, but it is made exclusively for Asian consumers. It uses pomegranate nectar as well as peony extracts, and the purpose is to prevent the look of yellowing skin tone, something that the Asian consumers are concerned about. The other one is Olay All-in-One 7-in-1 Total Effects. And I give that example because it's essentially anti-aging moisturizer. But in the Asian market, the same product is also positioned in anti-pollution because that's something that consumers are concerned about. So it's not that they're changing the formulation because whatever they have in their content overlaps between anti-aging as well as anti-pollution. So they're able to alter the positioning without having to alter the formulation. So on one hand, you have products which are exclusively made for a certain ethnic group, and on the other hand, you have a product which is the same or a universal product but sold with different marketing messages.
There is also brands that are fully concentrating on the topic of ethnic beauty. Can you provide some innovative examples for that?
Yes, I mean, again, just going back to what the global brands are doing, I mentioned that they take a more broad-based approach, but some ethnic communities also have more specific needs, and those are catered by the smaller brands, the niche brands, because their narrower focus allows them to specialize to that extent. So an example would be ORS hair care brand. It is US based and it targets consumers or women of African origin because they have special hair care needs. So ORS claims to have their products based on natural ingredients, and one of their quite sought after product is hair mayonnaise, and it's made of all natural ingredients such as whole eggs, netto, soybean, olive oil, and so on. And it's very important for African women that the products are made of natural ingredients because they tend to suffer from dry scalp. So exposure to synthetic ingredients can aggravate this problem. So ORS fits very closely with their needs. So this is one interesting example, and another example would be Wardah, which is a halal Indonesian beauty brand, and it has done remarkably well in the last 5 years because it has resonated well with the religious population in Indonesia.
What has been the most innovative product solution that you've seen recently in this field?
Well, I think it's interesting because, they are all interesting in their own capacity because they're targeting different segments. But if you were to ask me, what's the most, well, I would say it's the most interesting, but it's quite unique, and I found it quite intriguing, is a brand called Bevel. It's a men's shaving brand targeting men of African origin because they suffer from ingrown hair more than other ethnicities. So their products are specifically designed to prevent ingrown hair. So they have a single blade razor, and other shaving products to prevent ingrown hair. And I think it's quite interesting because it's targeting something so specific.